Guys, welcome back to Cover Signature YouTube channel. Today we are drafting a bodice pattern with Princess. That's the video we dropped some weeks ago. We drafted basic bodice pattern with double pointed dart. So today we are drafting a Princess dart bodice pattern. All right, the first thing we'll do is to take our vertical measurement, starting with the border line and the bust points measurement, the waistline, and also the length of the bodice itself. All right, okay. The next thing I repeated the vertical measurement on the other side before connecting those lines together, as I don't want any mistake. I want the line to be straight, so please pay close attention so you understand what I am doing. All right, then I'll connect the lines together before we go ahead and take our horizontal measurements. Okay, so our horizontal measurement will start with our shoulder measurement. The shoulder measurement we are using for today's bodice pattern is 15 inches. We'll divide the 15 inches, we'll divide it by 2. In my previous video I explained that every of our horizontal measurement will be divided by 4 except for our shoulder measurement. All right, so divide the 15 by 2, it gives us 7.5. I marked the 7.5. Then from that 7.5 I came down by 1 inches. We are just repeating the same thing we did for the previous video, the previous drafting. That's the basic body pattern for double pointed darts. We are repeating the same thing. So please, if you've not watched that video, please go back and watch the video so that you will understand what we are doing properly. All right, now I'm done taking the armhole line. Then I'll go ahead and label it. We have the chest line, the bust line, the waistline, and the hip line. Okay, in my previous video I also explained how to get our armhole measurement. I showed us the calculation, the standard formula for calculating the armhole measurement. So please do go back and watch the video if you've not watched it. All right, then I'll go ahead and draw my armhole out. I'll draw my armhole out. I already came in with half an inch at the center. Draw it out like this. Okay, all right. The next thing, we'll continue taking our horizontal measurement. We've took our shoulder measurements, we've gotten our armhole line and draw the armhole out. Now we'll go ahead and take our horizontal measurement. We'll divide all our horizontal measurements, we'll divide it by 4, don't forget. All right, so the first thing is to take our bust measurement. I divided my bust measurement, I divided it by 4, then added I added 1.5 inches sewing allowance. Then we added 1.5 inches sewing allowance plus extra 1 inches dart allowance. If you remember, for the double pointed double pointed bodies that we drafted, we did not add that allowance to the bust area. Yes, we do not add that allowance because our dart does not get to the bust area. But this is a princess dart basic bodice pattern, so we are going to add that allowance to the bust measurement, to the waist measurement, and to the hip measurement. All right, now I'm done taking the bust measurement, the waist measurement, and the hip measurement. I'll go ahead and connect the dots together. All right, go ahead and connect the dot together. I was actually trying to pick the right curve for the pattern. Go ahead and connect the dot together like this. All right, make sure there is no sharp edge. You have to make everywhere neat and curve. All right, now we are done taking our horizontal measurements. The next thing we are going to do now is to take our dart measurements. All right, so also in my previous video I showed us the standard formula for calculating our dart measurement. If you're unable to take the client nipple to nipple measurement, please go back and watch the video if you have not done that. All right, so the dart the dart measurement we are using in this video is 4 inches. Yeah, that's 4 inches. All right, okay. All right, why it's 4 inches, I should explain. The actual dart measurement we are using is 3.5, so we added half inches for joining allowance, so making it 4 inches. All right, then you see I've taken the dart measurements on the waistline, the hip line, and the bust line. Then on the armhole, on the armhole, at the center of that armhole, you come down by 1 inches. You come down by 1 inches, just as I have done. Then you connect that you connect from that 1 inches, you connect it like I just did. You connect it together with the 4 inches that you've marked on the bust line, waistline, and the hip line. Please watch closely, make sure it's not sharp. All right, okay. So from that point now, from that hammer point where the that started from, you go in, you go out, by 1 inches. You go out by 1 inches, as I have done. Then you connect you connect it back to the hammer. We went out by 1 inches so that we'll have enough allowance when we are joining it together. The fabric will not be short to each other. All right, that's why we went in by 1 inches. All right, so go ahead and take our neck line. We also, for this pattern, we'll be drafting the pattern. We'll be using drafting sweetheart neck, rather. We are drafting sweetheart neck. All right, so, and the width that we use the width we are using is 4 inches, and the depth is 7 inches. Yes, the depth is 7 inches. So from that 4 inches, we come down by another 4 inches. Then come down by another 4 inches, connect it like I have done. Please pay attention so you understand. Then you take your French cuff, you cuffed it. You make sure you cuff it and make it sharp. Yeah, you cuff it, that 4 inches that you came down with. Then you connect it back to the 7 inches. Please watch closely, then you will understand. All right, now we are done. We'll go ahead and slant our shoulder. Okay, then we'll go ahead and also give slant the seams allowance. I explained that seams allowance in my previous video. Please go ahead and watch it if you've not watched it. All right, now we are done with the front pattern of our princess dart bodice. All right, so we'll go ahead and cut it now. All right, so we are done cutting. So we use the front piece to draft out our back pattern. We are not cutting out the dart yet until we finish drafting the back pattern. All right, now to draft our back piece, the first thing we are going to do, as usual, as you all know, please go back and watch the previous video for you to have more understanding. All right, the first thing we are going to do is to take out our zipper allowance. All right, just as I have done. So for this bodies, we are using 2 inches for the zipper allowance. All right, so measure down the zipper allowance vertically, and we connected the dots together. Before placing the front piece on it. All right, now we'll place the front piece on the back pattern paper. We'll make sure that, looking at the way I just placed it, I placed it on that place, that mark, the line I just drew for the zipper, not at the edge. You make sure you leave that zipper allowance. All right, then you place it on that, directly on the line that we just drew. Then I had to pin it down so that it won't be shifting from one place to the other. Okay, pin it down with paper tape. Okay, so for the back pattern, for the back piece, we are using, our neckline, it will be round neck. All right, round neck, and we are using the width of 2 inches. Then the depth of 2 inches. Then we'll maintain the same width for the back, for the front pattern, also for the back pattern, and we are going with round neck. So connect it like this. All right, connect it like, and all our measurements will start from our zipper line. all your measurements. Every measurement you are going to take will start from the zipper line. You don't measure the allowance you took for the zipper, you don't measure it. All right, so go ahead and remove zip bulge. I also explained how to remove zip bulge in my previous video, so please, we are begging you again, if you've not watched the our previous video on how to draft a basic body pattern with double pointed darts, go ahead and watch it so you understand how we are doing all these things. It won't look like magic. Okay, so went ahead and removed the zip bulge because we don't want anything to be shooting out at the back. We want everything to lay flat very well. Right. All right, now we are done removing the zip bulge, and we've also returned the allowance we used in removing the zip bulge. We've returned it. Now we'll go ahead and cut the we'll go ahead and cut it out. All right, please pay close attention so you will understand how I am doing the cutting. Go ahead and cut it out like so. All right, before I continue cutting, you can see that the thing is, remember, the back armhole shape is different from the front armhole shape, so we make sure to bring that in now. We don't want the back armhole, we don't want it curved like the front armhole. Remember, the front armhole we came in by 1/2 inch, but the back armhole we want it straight. We are not supposed to come in by 1/2 inch, so make sure we effect that on our back armhole. We don't just go ahead and cut the front armhole on the back armhole like that. All right, then we'll go ahead and measure the 1 inches that we added at that point, so that the fabric is not short. We'll add it back on the front armhole, then back armhole rather, then we'll go ahead and connect it back to the armhole. Yeah, so please, we'll continue the cutting of the fabric now. Please watch closely so you understand the way i I did it. You understand the way I am doing it. All right, we'll go ahead and finish our cutting. All right, now we are done cutting. Still cut out um the zip the zip board that we want to remove. We remove it, and we'll cut out the princess darts like this. Cut it out like this, and that is it. We are done. We just go ahead and place our pattern paper. We'll place it on our fabric, and please don't forget to label so you don't mix the front pattern with the back pattern. I went ahead and label it, then we'll place it on our fabric, then we'll cut it out, and we are done. As simple as that. All right, thank you guys for watching. Please, if you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification bell so that you won't miss out on any of our tutorials, sewing inspiration, style inspiration rather, our all everything sewing hack. Please turn on your notification bell for more. Then like this video, comment, drop your comments. Thank you, and see you some other time.